Messed up moments in comics that made us go,
hey yo, what the fuck?
Part 184. This is What If Dark, Spider-Gwen #1, and in it we get to see Harry Osborn become the undisputed king of gaslighting. The book begins with what would have been the death of Gwen Stacy. However, this time Spidey's the one who goes. Gwen is stricken with grief and goes to her friend Harry, where she tells him we have to take out the Green Goblin and he wants nothing to do with it. So Gwen takes things into her own hands and becomes the new Spider-Man. However, she gives herself a couple of upgrades. After learning Spider-Man's gone, Harry's on board to help, and Gwen traps Green Goblin. But when she's about to pull the trigger, she remembers all the good times with Peter and stops. So the Goblin starts crab-talking her until he gets one right through the chest. But it was Harry who did the deed. But when he learns that the Goblin is his dad, he says Gwen made him do it, and that she's the one who took Norman out. Messed up moments in comics that made us go, what the f***? Part 185. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 61. And after running into Dr. Doom, Peter's gonna have a very, very bad day. Because the previous Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, got looped in an endless battle with Big Chungus over here, Sidorak. And now Dr. Doom has that title. And Spidey wants nothing to do with this. I mean, maybe if the city's attacked. And then the city was attacked, and Dr. Doom just can't be bothered to fight. So after Spidey gets his butt thoroughly handed to him, he accepts a bit of power from Dr. Doom and gets magic. But even giving it all he had, plus a bit extra, Spidey never stood a chance. But Peter had something that might help. Doctor Strange's Reeds of Resurrection. So after he was shredded by a black hole, his body is painfully rebuilt on an atomic level. Messed up moments in comics that made us go, what the f*** is that? Part 186. This is Starfire from DC Comics, and although she seems pretty innocent, just like Hal Jordan with his 13-year-old girlfriend, she shouldn't be allowed near a school. Because if you haven't noticed, Starfire isn't from Earth, and her Tamaranian customs become a problem with this boy Cliff. Because you see, Starfire has a knack for avoiding clothing, specifically if pools are involved. And back in 2008, she was spending a bit of time with Animal Man and his family, and she needed to recharge her powers with a bit of sunlight by the pool, with no clothes. Which, as she even says, isn't a problem because everyone's gone. Until 9-year-old Cliff comes home. Does she immediately cover up in front of the child? No. But don't worry, friends, he's not freaking out because she exposed herself in front of him. He's freaking out because she's about to get got. Messed up moments in comics that made us go, what the f***? Part 187. This is Absolute Batman #6. In it, Bruce is done messing around. He finds the Black Mask's yacht and decides to pay them a surprise visit by systematically attacking all of Black Mask's henchmen. And after making his first introduction, the second henchman attacks. But this one is a child. Yeah, okay, this kid is no match for a 6'6" Batman. So after slapping a life preserver on the little one and giving one final Batman stare, Bruce decides he's had enough. Hey man, look, Batman doesn't age discriminate. His hands are rated E for everyone. This is one of the wildest cameos I've ever seen. Happening in Nightwing issue 113. It's not like comics are new to cameos. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, where Barry Allen's supposed to be missing, he pops up in an issue of Quasar at Marvel. Heck, Superman and Lois Lane showed up in an issue of Thor, and Calvin and Hobbes were in an issue of Superman. But this one is on another level. And no, it's not the reference to the creators of Nightwing, Marv Wolfman and George Perez, in the pizza name. It's actually the strangely dressed man here. And if he looks familiar to you, that's because that's the main character, Yuji Itadori, from Jujutsu Kaisen.
You are my special.
Now apparently canon to the DC universe.
Domain expansion. Infinite reference.
Who wins in a fight, Batman or Captain America? Let's answer it once and for all. Now, if you don't know, Batman and Captain America have actually fought in comics before. Except, neither one of them actually saw each other as a threat, so they weren't giving it their all. But if they were to really go at it and go all out, who would win? Well, you have Batman. Yes, he has peak physical strength, as well as speed, agility, intelligence. Oh yeah, and billions of dollars. And then there's Steve Rogers, a man given a super soldier serum to push him to the peak of human performance. But unfortunately for Batman, it goes well beyond that. Because in 2022's Secret Invasion, Maria Hill implies that Cap's skin is bulletproof to regular rounds. Plus, he shaved a third of the time of the world record mile run for fun. But the biggest part is Batman doesn't have any additional boosts. And no, Batman does not get unlimited prep time. Meanwhile, because of the super soldier serum, Steve Rogers doesn't build up lactic acid, which causes muscle failure. So he can literally do this all day. Cap wins. Messed up moments in comics that made us go, Part 188. This is Marvel's One World Under Doom. Dr. Doom has taken over the Earth without having to fight anyone. And he flat out says right off the bat, the government ain't gonna save you. The world needs somebody who's above money, above corruption, and will fight to save them. They need him, apparently. But he says this time will be different. In fact, he only has 2 decrees. Number 1, nations are no longer able to fight each other, which, okay, yep, that's good. And rule number 2 is free healthcare and education up to a college level for everyone. Okay, having a hard time seeing a downside so far. Oh, wait a minute.
The man is crazy.
This dude turned his first love into a suit of armor and ended one of his variants and blew up that universe because that guy was friends with Reed Richards. Spider-Man 4 got a massive update, but it's making people nervous.
What the f?
Okay, let me explain. We found out the title of the movie, Brand New Day, which is actually the title of a run in 2008 from Amazing Spider-Man. But why would this make people nervous? Well, it's because of the arc that happened right before that comic book, Spider-Man One More Day.
No. Wait.
Where Aunt May got taken out, so Spider-Man and his wife Mary Jane met up with the devil just to try to make a deal to bring her back. But Mephisto must be a fan of Full Metal Alchemist because he demands equivalent exchange. And to bring Aunt May back and to make everyone forget he was Spider-Man, he takes MJ's marriage to Peter. One More Day happened in 2007, and we are still dealing with the ramifications of that story. So Mary Jane Watson is the new Venom.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Yeah, I know. And comic book fans online are taking it about as well as you'd expect. But I want to know from you, what's worse, this or her other superhero persona, Jackpot, where she uses wrist-mounted gambling machines to get powers randomly, thanks to Paul. Let me know what you think. The Flash is the most busted hero ever made. The dude moves faster than the speed of light, can travel through time, can phase through matter, and the only reason his arch nemesis doesn't take him out is because it would make a paradox. I mean, think about it, he can actually travel through time by running so fast, so theoretically anybody he fights, he can just go back in time to the moment of their conception, take their family out, and make it so they were never born.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Or, you know, hit him really fast. Who wins in a fight, Lobo or Wolverine? Well, let's get into it. Wolverine is one of Marvel's most resilient characters. I mean, the first time we see him, he's taking on the Hulk and fights him repeatedly in comics. Plus he has regeneration, increased stamina, strength, metal claws. But then there's Lobo. Lobo can breathe in space, he's strong enough to beat Superman on his own. Heck, he beat the entire JLA. Meanwhile, Wolverine gets manhandled by Spider-Woman and has to resort to cheap shots against Captain America, who, by the way, only has peak human strength. Logan has also been taken out multiple times. Between 616 and alternate universes, he's been taken out by Magneto, Sentinels, the Punisher. Lobo is legitimately immortal, so much so that he is actually banned from entering heaven or hell. Between his feats of strength and indestructibility, Lobo solos. I said this about Wolverine versus Lobo. Between his feats of strength and indestructibility, Lobo solos. And needless to say, you guys had some thoughts. Let's get into it. You might be a little confused because before, Wolverine and Lobo did fight. And the fight was done before it even started, with Wolverine knocking him out in just a couple of punches and stealing his cigar. But the thing is, that was rigged.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Yeah, the only reason that Wolverine won was because it was actually decided by fans on a popularity contest. If it wasn't a specific writer's creative vision and instead it was just a popularity poll based on the general public, you can't really take it as a logical result.
Like and subscribe.